That's on there. Good morning. Today we're interviewing two old residents of Nettleham who live in the Churchview flats. They are Mr. Eddie Taylor and his wife Dolly. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
It's nice of you to have us. I see you're both looking well.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Taylor, you are a very old inhabitant of Nettleham, but you weren't a native, were you? You weren't born here.
No, the wife was.
Yes.
She was
Yeah.
born in Northfield Farm on Scutton Road.
Mm-hmm.
But I was born at Stainfield.
Oh, Stainfield.
Mm.
Yes. You came here as a little boy.
No, I went from Stainfield to Albridge St John's. And my father, he was gardener and that for the vicar at Albridge St John's, and he was transferred to Nettleham here in 1910, and we came with him.
Your father came with the vicar?
Yes.
Oh, yes. How old were you when you came to Nettleham?
Well, I should be, I think, 9.
8 or 9, yes.
Yes.
Mm.
And of course, he used to have a big garden then, an old garden fence in the grounds. We had horse and trap, pony and trap for transport. They were big friends of Bern Copeland's at Nettleham Fields.
Yes. Did they have some other staff at the vicarage? Did they have servants living in? And
Oh yes,
Yes.
yes, they had a servant as well.
yes.
Yes. What did they call it? Of course,
Baker.
yes,
What did you call
Mrs. Baker's sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She married a fellow called
Fields
Fields End.
Oh, Fields End.
Mm.
So the vicarage was a very thriving, important place in the village in those days.
Yeah.
Yes, things happened there, a bit, garden parties.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes, I used to look at garden parties. I think about 5 or 6 little pigs
Oh, yes.
that we used to bowl for.
Were there more garden parties in those days? Because there aren't many now, are there?
No, no.
Were they more popular then?
No, the last one I can remember was on Peace Celebration Day, 1919, in the park.
Mm.
But that's when I can remember.
Yes. And you, Mrs. Taylor, you were actually born in
Yes,
North?
on the Scotland Hill, in that farmhouse there.
Yes.
On the right-hand side as you
Northfield.
go on. Yeah.
So you lived in Nettleham all your life?
Yes, I've lived here all my life.
I'm not going to ask you how old you
Oh
are.
dear, well what am I?
Miss-
80 what?
87.
87. And you're 88, Mr.
Mm.
Taylor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you tell us something about your school days? You go to school in Nettleham and
Oh
what were
yes,
your
I
school?
mean, we had a schoolmaster then, Mr. Arch.
Arch?
Yes, and he was a very big enthusiast on gardening. They used to have the mill gardens where Greenfield is built now,
Yes.
and we each had a little patch,
Yes.
you know, and he was very keen on gardening, and he was very keen on woodwork, and he used to take wood carving classes.
Mm.
My father made
Good morning.
that
Oh, somebody's
bookcase.
busy. Oh, sorry.
It's all
I'm
right.
sorry.
That's right.
Am I in the way?
No,
No,
come in.
Oh, I didn't know whether he's taking anything while I'm here.
We'll put him on video.
Oh,
We'll
hey, you've
put
got
you
a
in the
family,
picture.
family gathering.
Yes.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
right, are you?
Yes, thank you.
Good, good. Getting your dinner?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay then, see you
I'll
then.
see you
See you
Bye.
later.
Bye.
Thank you.
So with your father being a gardener
Mhm.
and the schoolmaster, you must have
Yes.
been well trained in gardening.
Yes, yes.
Has it,
Yes, he was a very good gardener. I mean, Mr. Bailey, who lived at Croft House, you know, of course he used to be a builder years ago, and then he went farming. Mr. Jackson, the solicitor he married one of his daughters, and he wouldn't let anybody touch his grapevine or anything, only my father.
And has
He
God,
was one of the church wardens at that day. There was him and Nicholson from the Brown Cow. He used to brew his own beer there. And Bailey, he was choir boys. Every Christmas day, he always used to bring us a new shilling. It was always a full house then.
that would go down well.
Yes,
Shilling was a lot of money.
yes,
What
it
a
was them
day.
days, yes.
And has gardening been one of your pastimes?
Mm.
Yes.
Yes, you've always been a keen gardener.
Yes.
Oh yes, we
Was the schoolmaster very strict?
You have to
fairly.
do as you're told.
Yes, yes.
Not
oh,
same as they are today.
a bit different.
Did the children like going to school?
Mm. Some of them,
Little boys don't like to go to school in those days.
were sons, and they both went in the Navy. Clem and Hector.
Yeah.
And
What sort of things did boys do in their spare time in those days? There weren't the things to do that there are now, but you'd find things to do. Did you go for sports or birds nesting, things that boys do?
oh yes,
Mm.
if you could get a nice shady place up the park, you could have a game pitch and toss.
Did they play pitch and toss? What did the policeman say about that?
But yes, card schools, you know, in the park and that.
And of course there would be cricket and football, wasn't
Oh
there?
yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Years ago, Major Wilson, who lived at Risenwall, he used to be captain of Lincolnshire, that's right, yes.
Mm.
Well, he formed the cricket team, but and he had a good pitch made at Risen, but they got tired of going, you know, it's too far.
Yes.
Of course, when we played football, we used to play against Nettleham Hall,
Yes.
one of the finest grounds there out in the county there.
It would be nice and dry.
Oh, it was beautiful, beautiful scenery around it. Yes, there used to be some good matches in those days.
Did young people go to Lincoln for entertainment?
Yes, oh yes, we used to go to the theatre, used to the musical comedies and that at the theatres,
Dancing?
Maid of the Mountains, Betty and things like that.
Did you go dancing?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
I suppose all young people.
There's a fellow who used to keep the shop where Mr. Kelly is now, Saunders.
Oh, Saunders.
And he used to run dancing classes in the Institute, shilling a time. And myself and a pal of mine, Bob Vickers, we used to go to dancing to a man on Steep Hill called Hatton. And we used to go pick the new dances up, what we could, the Maxina and the Destiny Waltz and things like that, and bring them to Nettleham.
Did you good lady dance?
Mm.
Did you dance?
Yes, you-
Yes.
Yes.
I suppose all young people would learn to dance in
Oh,
those
yes,
days.
in those days.
Really old-fashioned nice dancing.
Yes,
Yes.
oh, yes. Mm.
Now then you went to work.
Hmm?
Then you went to work.
I went to, when I left Nettleham School, I think when I was 14, I think. Then I went to continuation school. I believe it now it's the art school on Christ Hospital Terrace.
Yes.
Used to be a very good school in them days.
And what did you take there?
Hmm?
What did you take there? What subjects did you learn there?
Well, English, woodworking, and
So it was just a continuation of
just a
school?
continuation
Yeah.
school, yes.
What do you call it?
There's quite a few
Mm.
from Nettleham and Welton and that. Used to go there.
You always seem keen to better yourself.
Yes,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
of course, and then one holiday time, Bob and I, we didn't know what to do, so we run into Lincoln on our bikes and we tossed up to see who went to Clayton's and who went to Ruston's, and we started an apprenticeship. That would be about 1916, I think.
What was your trade?
Well, a toolmaker, really.
Toolmaker.
But as soon as you were out of your time in them days, you got the sack.
Oh.
Anybody 21?
Did you get the sack?
Yes, I got the sack, and
Were you unemployed?
yes, I was unemployed, and I went to Blackstone's at Stamford in about 1928.
So you went to live at Stamford? You'd have to
No,
do.
I couldn't
In
get out,
lodgings.
or else I should never have come away.
Yeah.
No, and
Did Blackstones make pumps in those days?
yes,
Yeah.
I did, yes. Oil engines and pumps, and they also used to make agricultural machinery.
So you went there and then came back here?
I went, I think I was there 3 years, and it was very hard keeping two homes going. I got married, and then I came to Babcock and Wilcox, and I was there on the inspection till they packed up.
We can see one of the results of your trade at this model.
Yeah.
Tell us about your model making.
He's made 4 of those.
I made 4
4 of
together.
those.
Yes.
Did you
Of
make?
course, I made a bigger one to start off with, an old chin. That's a Foster.
That's a Foster.
Light tractor.
Did you make all the parts yourself?
Well, I bought the rough castings.
Oh yes.
Bought the rough castings for the cylinder and flywheel and all the boiler. I bought the rims for the wheels, made the spokes and everything. But all the main parts, all the small parts I made myself.
And it actually works.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
You can get steam up.
Hmm?
You can get steam up.
Yes, well, that one I haven't had steam up because I couldn't get a pressure gauge. But there was one I made for the namesake of mine, Mr. Taylor. He was a farmer at Holmby. It was, I made one for him, and he took it quite about with him. In fact, I think it's still on the go, although he's passed on. He took it, demonstrating it in quite a few places.
Well, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Of course, you have these other things that you make. Gypsy caravan.
That's a gypsy caravan,
That's
yes.
made
No,
no.
That isn't.
no, that one
It's
isn't.
made of wood.
No.
And the clock. This is made of matchsticks.
That's
Yes.
all matchsticks, the same with the small
Little
one.
one.
How many matchsticks would it take to make that?
There's about 8,000 in there.
8,000 matchsticks. You must have been patient.
Oh.
Ah, yes.
Don't think he's got that one yet. Lift it out in a minute.
And you have this smaller clock. This
Mm.
is made of matchsticks as well.
Yes, yes, that's all matchstick.
And they both go and keep good time.
Oh, yes, yes. Mm.
So they're not just an
both,
ornament.
Battery.
Battery, yes.
Mm.
Right, now I think we might have a word with Mrs. Taylor. We haven't heard much from you.
No, I
The
don't think
little
there's much
thing-
to hear, do you?
In the window there, I wonder whether you'd be interested in that. What I made,
No.
just pull the curtain
No, we'll
back.
do that,
or
Mrs.
is it-
Taylor now.
What?
Now, Mrs. Taylor, we haven't heard much about your life.
No.
What sort of life did you lead as a young lady? Did you go to work? Did you go out to work?
Well, I'd plenty of work at home, looking after the people. You see, my mother died when I was born, so
Oh, dear.
I had the family, you see, sort of thing, as I grew
Yeah.
up.
Were you a big family?
No,
No.
only me and my brother.
Oh, but you You had to be housekeeper.
Yes.
Yes, so you couldn't go out to work.
No.
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 When did you meet Teddy?
Oh, well, I knew him when I was about 14, didn't I?
When she used to bring me the Scout magazine.
Yes, used to go to his mother's
Mm.
and bring the Scout magazine from my brother.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So it just
My
got to know.
mother died, I think it was 1924. There was a big epidemic in the village. Oh, there was a lot of people died of pneumonia. And our doctor, you see, Dr. Dean, he came from Scotland, and he was that overworked, he used to forget some of them, and he happened to forget my mother until it was too late. Oh, there's a big epidemic then. I remember some people called Needham lived on the green, where Mr. Brattley lives now, and Mrs. Jeffrey. And the whole family, man, his wife and daughter, they all passed on.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Anyway, you escaped that.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
But Mum, you had your auntie, hadn't you?
yes. She had paralysis, but I looked after her while she died. Oh, I don't
Work.
know.
You said no, you couldn't
I
because
couldn't,
you had to
no.
look after the family because your mother died
Yes,
when you were born.
yes.
Yes.
And I always looked after them when I grew up, you see.
Yes.
Yes. And the auntie that I looked after, she was paralysis. She had paralysis. I looked after her for 4 years, didn't I? Yes. Yeah. That was my life,
Yeah.
looking after the old people.
Was it? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your granddad?
Yes, I had a granddad with me, and he died when he was 95. Yeah.
And
That's,
there's my dad.
yes,
So-
then I looked after Eddie's dad. And
You,
that was my life,
That's
looking
been your
after the
life.
old people.
yes. Now you had your own family.
Yes, we've got one daughter and two grandson, daughter and grandson, and two great grandchildren, a daughter and a grandson.
4 generations on the go now.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
And they come to see you here.
Oh,
Yes,
yes,
yes, yes. Do the grandchildren like to come?
Oh, they do.
Mm.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Get spoiled a bit.
Well, they're not spoilt. They well behaved.
Yes.
They're ours, I will say, but they do know how to behave. Maybe you know Mr. Stewart,
I know
Squires,
Stuart,
do.
yes.
Well, he wouldn't put up with any.
You live in this nice council flat?
Yes.
Where
Yeah.
did you live before?
Highleys.
And where before that?
On the Welton Road, didn't we, for
Yes.
30
You
years.
lived on Welton Road?
Yes, right at the end house. Yes, we was there 30 years.
And then you came back into the village?
Yes, up on the Highleys,
yes.
and we're there 20. Now we're here.
And how do you like here?
Well, I didn't like it at first, but anyway, I do now, and we've made lots of friends, and
It's nice and convenient.
it is, yes, Dad could get off to the shop, which
I see
he
him at the shop.
likes. Yes.
And the warden to come and see if you're all right? Is
Oh,
she just in
yes,
now?
yes, every morning she comes, yes. Oh, we're quite happy.
Yes. But Nettleham's a different place, isn't it, from
Oh, from what
you
it
knew?
used to be, but still I shouldn't want to be anywhere else.
No.
No,
Lovely place, yes.
it
It's
is.
a good place to live.
It is.
And you're both happy and fairly healthy, are you?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Dad has attacks now and again, don't you? But we're lucky, we're both together, aren't we? You don't find
That's
many
lovely.
people at our age,
That's
Yeah.
it.
do you?
Beautiful. Well done.
Yeah.
Have you, Jeff?
We look, when we go in the room there,
Oh, I don't know.
there's the only us two,
Yes.
is there? No? Oh, we're very lucky. Sorry, was I?
No.
No? Just wondered if Jeff wanted to.
Yeah. Yes.
No, you're all right, but you carry
I
on.
think we've had a good things.
Yes.
Well, I don't think there's much more to say. You've both given us a good account of
Let him
yourselves.
come in about his rifle shooting.
Oh yes, the rifle range, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it was in the Institute yard. We used to shoot at 15 yards and 25 yards.
Yes.
And we had a good team. Well, of course, Church House, it was about the leading team, and the crack shot of that used to be Tommy Cook, who used to have a chemist shop in Central Street. Do you remember him? He had a glass eye.
No.
Oh, he's a rod out. And we had a good team. With Harry Ward, who had the cycle shop next door, Arthur Towers, whose daughter, Mrs. George, lives there. The man called Morrison, who used to be farmer on Lodge Lane, my father, and Sid Baker, he got killed in the war, and Jeffrey, who used to keep the mill, he always used to bring a plum loaf. He used to go a penny a time and shoot for this plum loaf. Of course, as soon as 1914 came on, that was all done in. It was one of the main features of the village in that days.
Did you go to chapel or to church or anywhere?
He was in the choir, Mr.
Well,
Clark.
that's what I thought he said, but he didn't enlarge on it, you see. I wanted him to
Oh,
enlarge
he
on it a
wouldn't.
bit.
Oh, he was in the choir. He used to sing on his own, and
Did you?
he was a good lad in
In
those
the church
days.
choir?
Yes.
Yes. Mm. What about the anniversaries round the village? Did you ever take part in those?
Yes,
Well,
with on the wagons.
That's
and,
right.
Oh, we
Well,
did.
tell us about those.
Didn't we?
Aye, we always used to go to
Some-
Bunkers Hill at
Some farm.
Bert Brown's farm, because it belonged to the church. That's all the parson
church
got
farm.
for his wages, was wages, money from this farm. We always used to go there in the wagons.
Yes.
And the chapel people, well, they used to go in Mr. Mansford's fields. That's just in Vicarage Lane. And the Methodist people, they used to go on what is now Deepdale Lane,
Round
where
in carts.
Mrs. Dyer and that lives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't anybody go to Nettleham Hall?
But
That did they?
hmm?
Yes, they did go to Nettleham Hall, didn't they?
Oh,
Didn't any of the anniversaries?
The outings. Used to go to Nettleham Hall.
no,
Did
no,
they?
no.
No.
I mean, Hodges was very kept
Select.
themselves to themselves.
Oh.
I mean, they never. Well, I'll tell you one thing though, Jeff. In 1912, the yeomanry camped in Rising
Yes,
Park.
they did.
Did they?
Yes. And the bandmaster was Davy, who kept the pub at Dunham. And Fred Walker from the East Farm, he was Sergeant Major. And a good many of those who was there, they lost their lives when that troop ship was torpedoed.
Oh, and with Kitchener?
Mercy or Mercy.
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of them lost their lives in that.
Did you go to the seaside with them at all?
Oh, I used to go to the seaside.
Where'd you go?
We
Mablethorpe.
went Mablethorpe so many years.
Fortnight every year.
Did you?
Oh,
Well, that was your holiday.
Yes.
Yes.
What did you stay in?
But when I,
In a caravan.
In a caravan?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
but the first
Was
time I
these
went to
going there now?
Mablethorpe, just at the bottom of the pullover, you turn to your left, there's no houses there or anything at
Yes.
all. It was Bishop's Field, they called it, and we used to be camping in there, and down at the bottom of the field, Billy Wells had his training quarters.
Did he really?
Yes.
He was a boxer.
He was a boxer.
Yeah.
Joe Beckett always used to beat him.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, so he had his training quarters there.
What did it cost you to hire your caravan? Can you remember?
Remember that? Nothing much, I don't think.
That's what
did
I was
it?
thinking.
No, we used to have a fortnight every year.
Oh.
Did you? Yeah.
No, it wasn't much.
Did you go by train?
No, we had
no.
an old car. We had
Oh,
a
you had a car, had you?
standard little 9.
Ah,
well
Yes,
to do in those days.
we used to have to keep stopping and letting it cool down, but
Did
still
you?
we got there and back.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
What year would that be?
Uh,
What year was the car, I mean?
the car was 1932.
Was it?
Yes.
Hmm.
You had a motorbike, didn't you?
Oh, man,
Yes.
some motorbikes, all sorts.
You had a very peculiar make of motorbike that not many people would have heard about. The make of your motorbike.
The make of your motorbike.
Oh.
Not,
Oh
peculiar
yes,
one.
on one motorbike, they're very few made. You'd only a Kynoch.
A Kynoch?
This.
That sounds like a cartridge.
They made the cartridges.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
And they made a motorbike as well,
They
did
made
they?
a motorbike with
Did
a
they?
3-speed up in the back wheel.
Really?
Ah,
Oh, we always had a motorbike.
Aye.
yes.
I used
There's
to ride
mostly
pillion.
belt drive, push start, you know.
Hmm.
Acetylene lamp.
Mm.
Acetylene lamp.
Oh yes,
Yes.
yes.
Where did you
You're
live
either
in
the
those early
flood of
days?
Up at the Heath.
Oh, you lived up there, did you?
Yes, on
Oh, yeah.
one of the cottages right down at the bottom.
On
Now
the
where
heath?
Walker's
Farm is?
The main one, not
Yes.
not
There are
Broad.
some cottages there.
Yes,
Mm.
we lived
And you
down
lived
there.
in one of those, did you? Ah.
Yes, Dad was there. Alan was in there about 20 or 30 years.
Was
I
he
think.
really?
Yes,
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
We had to walk to school from there.
Did you?
We used to love it. Now
Yes.
I can't walk a few yards.
That's
can I?
right. Yeah, they're lorries and cars and buses to pick them up.
Mm.
What about rabbit pie suppers? Did you used to go to those?
I don't think so, did we? Don't think we did.
Sick and dividing clubs?
No.
Oh, Dad belonged to Sick and Dividing
Oh
clubs,
yes,
don't
yes,
didn't you?
aye.
Which was that one?
Which one was that?
Plough.
The
That was the plough.
Mm.
Hmm.
Well, we used to belong yours, didn't we?
I know you did at later
yes,
time.
when
Yes.
Pyro run
That's
it,
right.
wasn't it? Yes.
Yes.
Did you ever keep a pig?
Hmm?
Did you keep a pig?
Oh, we used to
His
keep a
dad
pig.
did.
Oh yes, we used to keep pigs. And about 6 or 7 of the old hands, you know, they all used to go on a Sunday morning all round all the pigsties, looking at other people's pigs.
Could you cure the bacon?
Dad never did, but his dad did.
Oh, your father did.
Yeah, didn't he?
Who used to kill the pigs for you in
The
those days?
chap called Freebury.
Freebury.
Mm.
What was that? Charlie Freebury's father?
That would be
Yes.
Charlie Freebury's grandfather.
Grandfather.
And he
Ah.
used to live just again the White Hart, where Harry Vinter used to live. You
Did he? I know, in the
Ah,
cottages.
that's right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
I
The Bob Vickers you spoke about, was he the one who lived in the shop opposite
Yes.
those cottages?
Who?
Bob Vickers?
Bob.
Hmm?
Bob Vickers.
Bob Vickers, oh, he lived Mrs. Warwick.
Yes,
in
that's
the shop
right.
there, that's
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
She'd married twice.
Yes.
Yes. Ah, Bob, I mean, he was...
Had the son Michael Vickers?
Ah,
Yes,
that's right, yes, yes. Is he still a...
Yes, he lives on Nettleham Road.
Does he?
And I believe Mrs. Vickers is still alive.
Oh,
Is he
she
still at
was a
Rugby,
little while
Harry?
since.
Michael
Was I
Vickers?
saw her.
Sorry?
He used to be, but big noise there.
Where?
At Rugby Plastics.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Hmm.
He used to live at Washington, didn't he?
I don't know exactly where he
Yeah.
lived. Ah.
Well, I think we've said it all now.
I think so.
It's nice
Oh,
of you
it's
to
to
tell us
fill
all
the
these
book.
things. We'll have it
Yes.
shown and let you see it.
Yes.
You might like to bring your family to see it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I put your
I'll tell you,
shoe fitting thing on the top here, look. It's on
Thank
there.
you. Thank you, yeah.
Jeff, I'll tell you the thing. Right.
You did.
Well, there's a Zeppelin came up. Well, there's one followed it.
Yeah.
and he followed it,
On the Washington side.
and he did, and he
Yeah, until it hit
come
the
to-
tunnel.
I remember the feast being in the White
In the White Hart Garden, that's right. Yeah.
The swinging boats,
Yes.
and the use of the dolls.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
he gave it.
That's what, well,
He
his
built, he
his
was
daughters,
a builder, and
his
then
granddaughters,
he
Miss
retired from
Jackson gave
building
it.
and
Yeah.
went farming.
Yes,
It,
that's right. That's his house, opposite the telephone box.
Yes, the red brick house.
Yes. Yeah.
This is Church View, a block of flats built by the Rural District Council for the old inhabitants of Nettleham. You'll see sitting on the seat the two people who we've just interviewed, Mr. and Mrs. Taylor, sitting out on a fine summer's morning. If we go a bit closer to them, you'll see them sitting in front of the lounge.
You can go in now if you like.
Rightio, thank you.
Right,
Years
see,
ago
don't
we used to have
think.
a comic paper called Comic Cook.
We're now heading out to the Islands, which is a county council old people's home, and you'll see some of the old residents there sitting out on this
Let
fine
me know
morning.
when we're showing it,
Yes,
and then you'll be able to come and have a look.
yes.
There's no good coming to a game dance with you
No,
now,
not
is there?
now. Today, the 5th of May 1990, we're in the house of Mrs. Webster in High Street, Nettleham, and we're going to ask her the usual sort of questions that we've been doing on these videos for several weeks now. Mrs. Webster, when were you born?
The 16th, the 12th, 1909,
And where?
in Keighley, Yorkshire.
Keighley, Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Whatever brought you to Nettleham?
Aha, that's a long story.
Did you go to school in Keighley?
Yes, I went to 2 schools there.
Can you remember the name?
I can. Highfield Lane, Keighley, and Longleys Lane, Longley, right up on the edge of the moors.
Oh. How old were you when you went to school in those days?
4.5.
Oh, you went at 4.5?
I did,
you?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
4.5.
finished at what age?
And I, pardon?
What age were you when you finished?
Well, when we left there, I was
Yes.
about 8 when we left.
Oh, when you
Keighley.
left Keighley?
And then we went down to live in London.
Ah, you went to London
Yes.
with your father's employment?
No, he was missing during the First World War at
Was he?
Passchendaele.
And did you never saw him
So
again?
never
he,
knew
He
him.
was lost at Passchendaele?
Yes,
Was he really?
yes,
Ah.
yeah. His name is, my sister's been, she's been over there and seen his name on the...
On the monument?
Yes.
Really?
Mm.
Hmm.
So my sister was born while he was at the war,
I see.
you see.
Yes.
So she never knew him.
She never saw
She
him?
never knew him.
No.
No.
Is she younger than you?
No. Oh yes, she's 75.
Ah, she's
Says
younger
I'm
than you.
81 this
Yes.
year.
Ah,
Hmm. And what was he?
yes.
When he did work,
Yes.
when he was at home, Keighley, he was a floor moulder in iron.
Was it?
In these big industrial, because Keighley, it's wool and iron.
And
They
iron.
made these washing machines.
Did they really?
Mangles, that
Yes,
sort of
Mangles.
thing. Yeah,
Yes.
that sort of thing.
In Keighley.
In Keighley, yes.
What took you to London then?
Well, with him dying,
Yes.
well, losing him,
Yes.
put it like that, Mother had to work because we'd on 16 shillings a week pension
Yeah.
then, you see,
Mm.
and there was the two of us to bring up.
Yes.
Well, she was a cook, housekeeper, and the people that we lived with, which was the Mayor and Mayoress of Keighley, they moved to London,
I see.
and they took us,
With
and the
them.
whole family,
Yeah.
you know, with, and
Yes.
that's what we did there.
So you would go to school in London as well?
Yeah, I had 4 schools in London.
Did you really?
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
Went from starting to finishing, I went to 8 schools.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a broken
So we didn't have any friends
No.
because we never stayed in a place long enough.
No.
You see what I mean?
You moved about in London,
Yes,
did you? Yes.
when these people had a family, you see,
Yes.
and they moved, and
Yes.
we went from one place to another. We lived in West Hampstead, near Hampstead Heath. We lived in SW3 Chelsea,
Yes.
on the embankment there by the Albert Bridge, Cadogan Pier. So I know all around
I was
there.
going to say, you know this area then.
I do.
Yeah.
Down there.
Yeah.
Yes. Where else? Oh, just wait a minute. Kensington.
Did you?
Went to a school there. And another one, St Mark's. And whether was that? St Mark's. There was a big church there because we still belonged to the church even then.
Hmm.
So, no, we've moved around a bit.
Yes. What
And then-
age were you when you finished school?
14.
You finished at 14? did you?
Yes, and where did
Yeah.
I finish? St Faith's in Lincoln.
Did you really?
Hmm.
Your mother came to Lincoln?
Yes, because she was a Lincolnshire woman.
Was she really?
The father was Yorkshireman.
Yes.
You see, and in those days, early days, mother they had to leave home
Yes.
and go into service,
Yes.
didn't they?
Yes.
So she went to Keighley,
Did she?
and
that
that's
was
where she
they-
met
Yes.
my father.
Yeah. And then she came to Lincoln for
Yes,
you to
because
finish
her
your
family
schooling.
was here, and she had a brother here who had lost his wife and left him with 4 children.
Good
So
Lord.
mother brought these 4 children up.
Yeah. And you finished at St Faith's in
And
Lincoln?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm. I was confirmed there, and
Were you?
yeah.
Hmm.
And I'll tell you who it was, Canon Cook.
It was Canon Cook.
Oh, and I think that he went to Boston, didn't he? I think
I
he
don't
did.
know.
I think he did, yeah.
Ah.
So we've had a varied career, I'll tell you.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so many places.
Most unusual for those sort of days.
Well, of course it was.
Yes. Yes. So
Yeah.
you moved round with
We
your
moved
mother's
round.
employment.
So, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And what brought us to Nettleham? You want to know that?
Yes, I do.
Well,
Well, did your mother move to Nettleham?
yes, but I got her this house.
Did you?
Yes.
She lived in this house.
No, yeah, she lived in this one before
Did
me.
she?
Yes. But we see, how shall I put it? We lived in Lincoln in Derwent Street when we was first married. And then where else did we live there?
This was when you'd married George.
Yes, when I married
Yes.
George, we lived there. Well, you know, wages was £2.6 and threepence.
Yeah.
That's what his wages were
Yeah.
at the forge. And I forgot what the rent was, 13 shillings a week. Well, we couldn't live on it.
Hmm.
You see, couldn't. And he
No.
said, well, we'll see if we can find something in the country.
Hmm.
Me, I'd never spent a day in the country.
Hmm.
I was a towner.
Yeah.
Anyway, Len Thompson,
Yes.
remember him?
Yes.
Well, he lived over the road in Christine Orange's house.
Did he?
Yes. And he got us the one on the green with the pillars.
Did he really?
Yes, he got
Hmm.
us that.
Hmm.
And do you know what they call that house? I bet it stood into a lot
No.
of Pascombe.
Is that the name?
If you
of
look
it?
in the cemetery, there's a lot of Pascomillingtons.
There is.
There is.
Yeah.
Well, that's who that house belonged to. The
Did it
Millingtons.
really?
Yes.
Yes.
So
And you lived in there?
we lived there. Yes.
With George as a...
Yes,
Your mother
got married
didn't
at
come
St
then?
Swithun's.
Your mother didn't come there?
No, she was in Lincoln then.
Yes.
You see, and when the children that she brought up had grown up,
Yes.
she left them, and I was expecting John, and I got her this house.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
and we lived. We moved because there was nothing. I don't really know the Black Horse there.
Yes.
That house.
Yes.
Well, there's nothing. There's
No, there
nothing
isn't.
there for
No,
George, you
no.
see, and he was
There's no garden or
he was a
anything.
countryman,
Yeah.
you know. So of course we thought, well, we'll see if we can get a move. Well, Len Thompson, he took the White Hart.
He did?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, he got us that one, where what he came out of.
I
You
see.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
And so we went there and started pig breeding.
Good Lord.
We finished up with 40
In the back there?
in the back there, because
Good Lord.
yeah, you see, you know, when they leave houses, before the next one comes in, what do they do? They'll half-inch this and they'll half-inch
Yes,
that.
right.
I've seen it done. But that, it was £6.5 a half year across there,
Really?
and with the big wagon shed,
Yes.
all the stabling,
Yes.
and so
Yeah.
we divided it all up into bays, and we started breeding pigs.
Good Lord.
With saddlebacks, large whites, blue and whites,
Yes.
Berkshires, with a boar,
Yeah.
and
And he did that for a living?
no,
Oh, he did that as a
no, I
hobby?
sorted the pigs while he was and because you see, he worked nights, and so as well, he was a fortnight
Yes.
on days, fortnight on nights, you see. No, so and when he was at work, well, I had the job, and I'll tell you what else. We had a ratting gun, little 210.
Did you?
And do you know, I used to say, well, if you leave, tell me how to use it, and I'll have a go, you see, when you're
Yeah.
not here. Oh, Bomber Wells, Charlie Wells,
Yes.
Vinters, they used to say, can you come, missus? I said, what for? There's a rat. He said, I could shoot rats as good as George Webster could, you know. Could.
Yeah.
Anyway, when we found, why did we move? Oh, 1947, you know when the floods was
Yes,
here?
I do.
Well, we was flooded out.
Were you in that house
We
then?
was in that house then.
Were you?
Yes. You see,
You know,
all
I can't
the
remember you living in there at all.
Can't you?
No?
Well, John was born there.
Was he?
Yes. We didn't leave there until he was about 11 before he started
Really?
at the Aston. Yeah.
I remember the old chap in there.
Oh, Charlie Hargrave.
Charlie Hargrave.
Well, he was the last carrier's cart driver.
Was he?
Yes.
Hmm.
And I'll tell you what else he did. He used to go to the vicar, who was he? Oh, Cotton Smith.
Cotton Smith.
And he used to go every morning early to pump the water up
Yeah.
for the day.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah.
And poor old Charlie, you know what he was like.
I do.
Well, they found it. I hadn't seen him for a day or two, and then Bob Parker came. I've forgotten what for. I says, I haven't seen Charlie Hargraves.
Hmm.
He said, well, I better come and have a look. Well, of course, they found him
Yes. I
dead.
remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember ever so well the day they buried him. It was Valentine's Day.
Was it?
And I was the only one that went to the
Really?
funeral.
Hmm.
But it was February, that's right.
Was it?
February the 14th.
Yeah.
Got Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And I can remember taking some snowdrops out the garden to put, and I could go to his grave now.
Really?
I could.
Hmm.
It's under that great big willow tree. And
Because he was a regular pint man. He used to drink a lot.
Ah, he did, cross at the White Hart.
I know.
Yeah, but I'll tell you who was there then. Bennett and Bell.
No, Bell. We came in '38.
Well, Bennett and Bell.
Yeah, we took over from
That's
them.
right. Well,
Yeah.
when Len Thompson had that house, bought that house up Scotham Hill,
Yes, he
and
did.
moved out,
Yeah.
Bennett and Bell went in.
That's right.
Because
They
I
took
worked
it
for
over.
them.
Yeah, well, Len Thompson was in there about 1928. And Bell took it about 1931,
Oh,
32,
no. Well, we
something like
didn't
that.
come well 1935. To
Oh, well, the
Netherland.
Bells had it then,
They didn't.
didn't they?
No.
Thompson still had it then, had he?
Thompson moved out. I don't know who was there before. I don't know.
Oh, I've got the book at home. I could tell you them
Yeah.
all. Mm.
Oh, well, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, poor old Charlie Hargraves, you know, he used to go, we always, Mrs. Bell, well, when he was always first customer at dinner time,
Yes.
and we always used to take a bucket
Yeah.
and put it between his legs.
Yes. Did you really?
Yes, because we always used to do it every dinner time.
Really?
Yes, we did. We
Yeah.
had to do.
Because he wouldn't go outside.
Well, I don't think he could hold these.
Yeah.
No,
Mm.
poor old Charlie. And he used to say, will you wash me this, missus? Will you wash me that? And I thought, yes, when I've done my washing,
Yes.
I, you know,
Yeah.
used to wash for him.
Jimmy Betts was the other one at that time who was very friendly with him, wasn't he?
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
But then, yes. And then, of course, I used to work at the Plough, worked for Wilkinson for long.
Did you?
You know, yeah. But I worked at the
What,
White House
as a
as well.
barmaid?
No, I was a cleat, you might know.
Cleaning?
I never got a nice job back at barmaid. I was a scrubber out. In fact, when Wilkinson was so ill,
Yes.
you know, he had a grey horse, didn't he? Do you remember him? And he kept it in the
Did he?
stable yard.
In the stable yard?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he used to say, will you go and feed the horse? And it hadn't been out and the
Really?
piled up, you
Yeah.
know. And when I had nothing to do with horses, and pigs, yes.
Yeah.
Horses, no, not me.
Yeah.
And it used to push me, you know, to pin me to the wall.
Did it really?
It did. Yeah,
Mm.
but I can see him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor old Wilkinson. But
Yeah.
no, he was good. He was all right. But well, that's half the village, isn't it? We've gone through.
Well, some of it.
Well, some of it. Yeah. Now, what else do you want to know?
Who kept the shop where Mrs. Eyre lived in those days?
Oh well, that's another story.
I know it. That's
Well, the spices was in it.
the spices were in it.
Yes,
then, weren't they?
spice. Yes, that's right. Now then, no. Yes, spices. That's right.
Bob
Yeah.
Vickers lived in the house alongside it, did he?
Bob Vickers lived in what's collectibles now.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the shop I meant.
Oh, you meant that one?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant the bank.
No, I meant that one. Where
Oh.
Mrs. Eyre used to live.
That's right. Oh, well, Granny Warwick lived in
Oh, well,
it.
I wondered this is what I was at. Whether
Yes.
Warwick still had it then.
They had it then.
Oh, did she?
Yes,
Yeah.
Granny Warwick. Yes,
Yeah.
because there was Granny's kitchen.
That's,
That little place.
Yeah.
Yes.
what I was after.
And then, of course, during the war, it was the Walton pies we used to fetch, didn't
Yeah. Well, you were saying so.
we? Yeah.
I can't remember it.
Oh, I can.
Because I was away then.
They used to queue outside, you know,
Did they?
waiting for the pies to come.
Yes. Yeah.
Can't done what they was made of, but they was good. He was glad of anything.
Didn't Tom Kettle make them in his bakery?
No, we took the pork pies there to be
I know
there.
you used to take the pork pies there.
I worked there too.
Did you?
I used to go at 5:30 in the morning. Do you know what for? They wouldn't have it today. To grease the tins.
To grease the tin.
To grease the tins.
Yeah.
Ready for
In the bakehouse.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
pies were specified by the council, and I think it said there were to be 5-ounce pies with 2.5 ounces of meat.
Was it really? Oh, well, I know that was good.
And they were distributed in all the villages in Welton district.
Yes. Well, no, you bought them here. There was a queue for them.
Yes.
They sold nothing else. Cause
And
the
that
shop
was
was
Granny
out.
Warwick's shop.
Yes.
Hmm. I know Spices was in this
Oh,
one.
yeah. Ah,
Yeah.
well, I'll tell you who used to work for them. Phyllis Hill.
Phyllis Hill.
Yes.
Yes.
well, I
And of
know
course
Jo-
she still lives at the end of Greenwood
yeah, well, you've
Lane.
never seen her for years.
No,
you
you
know,
haven't.
you don't see
No.
her. Anyway, I know John was a baby, and she came across to me because I lived across
Yeah.
there. George was at work. Can you come? Can you come? It's Mr. Spice. Oh, Mr. Spice. I said, what's the matter with him? He's dying. So of course she says, can you come? Once I've got a baby in bed. Anyway, off we go to Mr. Spice's. I thought, I looked at him and I thought, oh, and you see, there was no light upstairs, only a little flickering candle like that.
Yeah.
So she says, I said, well, I'll fetch the doctor. No. I says, you fetch the doctor. Anyway, she leaves me with a bottle of brandy in one hand and a guttering candle in the other. And you know, I looked at him and all of a sudden, I thought, he's dead. Well, I stood there petrified. I really did, petrified. Anyway, the doctor came and of course he was dead. But
Really?
I couldn't move. I couldn't.
Mm.
He said, well, he's nice and clean, Mrs. Webster, will you lay him out? I said, no, I can't. I've never laid anybody out.
Yeah.
Not then, but I have done since.
Have you
see.
really?
Oh, I had several in the village.
Yeah.
The doctor used to say, can you come and you can lay him out, lay
Yeah.
so-and-so out. Yes, I
Really?
did.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think
Was
so.
that Dr. Dupree?
Yes.
Yes. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, we did. So that was that tale. But no, poor Mr. Spice, I can see him now. Because
Mm.
she died suddenly.
Did she?
Yeah. And then, of course, the Radfords came.
Mrs. Radford came.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm.
Yeah.
And after Charlie Hargraves died, she had that little cottage as a storeroom.
Did she? I've
Yeah.
forgotten that as well.
Yes, it
Hmm.
was a storeroom.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, she did.
And eventually Christine moved in.
No, there's another one after that.
Was there
Mrs.
another one?
Bailey.
Oh, Mrs. Bailey, of course.
Yes.
Crikey, I'd forgotten that.
Yes.
Because
yeah.
I was a trustee for her will,
Was she really?
for Miss Bailey's, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, she's a nice person.
Oh, yes.
Very
Right,
nice.
Miss Bailey, I'd forgotten
I know what she get for it, the house.
Really?
Yeah, it was £900.
Was it?
Yes.
Hmm. Which was a lot of money then,
Was a lot of money then.
for a
Yeah.
cottage.
Yes, it was.
That's right.
Well, look at this. Do you
Yeah.
know what we gave for this when we bought it? Man, we rented it for a time until
Yeah.
Maud, old Mrs. Jubb died. It was 7 shillings a week then.
Hmm.
But you see, with all that garage and all the
Yes.
buildings,
Yes.
and when we bought it, it was with some change out to £300.
Had you
That
really?
was with the writing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. And Ives next door,
Yes.
it was 600.
Was
But
it?
he bartered them down because he'd been a bit cleverer than me.
Yeah.
We'd had electricity put in,
Oh,
you know,
oh.
and he kept the oil lamps.
Did he really?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
It belonged to the Jubbs, did it?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that was where the blacksmith shop was,
Yes.
in the yard.
In the yard. Yes,
That's
in
right.
my yard. Yes.
Yeah.
And my workshop was the paint shop.
Was it?
Yes.
Ah.
And all the wall, it's just as it was. It's all
Bits
where
of
you.
paint. They rubbed the
Even
brushes.
George, when he worked in there, as you know, making his toys, didn't he?
Who?
When George worked in there.
Oh, I see what you mean.
you
Yes.
see,
Yes.
and we still clean the brushes on the wall.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But oh dear, when I look back,
Because George worked at the Lincoln firms, didn't he?
he was at the forge.
The Ford,
Yes, he was a dye miller.
dye miller.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he worked with Malcolm's dad.
Did he?
Yeah.
Hmm.
In fact, I believe I've got 1 or 2 snaps yet.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Have you?
yeah, of
Yeah.
his dad.
And
When did
I
you
worked with him as well, of course.
You did, didn't you? Of
Yeah,
course
for
you
many
did.
years.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did your son go to America?
Well, he's been there, what, 21 years, 22
really?
years, yeah.
What does he do for a living?
He's a designer and a cabinet maker. He makes, yes, he makes all furniture. He makes dentists' couches, doctors,
Does he?
that sort of thing.
Whereabouts is he?
It's in San Francisco.
In San Francisco.
Mhm.
In
Yeah.
business on his own?
Oh, yes, on his own.
Yes.
Mm,
Hmm.
yeah.
What made him go?
Well, John was a boy with itching feet.
I know he was.
He could
Yeah.
never, he used to say, why have I neither brothers nor sisters?
Hmm.
Well, I says, that's another long story. I'll tell you when you're older,
Yes.
you see. And he said, you know, I says, if we'd had a family, I would have stayed.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
no.
Hmm.
He lived in Holland, you know, 5 years.
I know he lived abroad.
Yeah, he
Yes.
did. He's always wanted to be
Yes.
on the what's round the corner. He was never satisfied with what's under his nose, you
Hmm.
see. Well, then when he went to university, see, at Nottingham,
That's right.
I've lost him then,
Yes.
I've just lost him.
Yeah.
Well, he put in for a grant for interior decorating, because
Hmm.
give him a yard of material, he could knock anything up, you know. Anyway, he couldn't get one. So he went in for architecture 5 years,
That's right.
you see, and his grant was £98 a year. Now that's why I went to work on the land,
Was it?
to help to keep him
Yeah. Yeah.
where he was.
Well, what about this stone picking that you were on?
Oh well, when I
Oh,
worked
well.
for Hood,
Yeah.
when I worked for Mr. Well, we all did. If he hadn't a job for us, he used to say, "Well,
Who
you
was
know,
this? Who did you work for?
Hood,
Oh, Mr. Hood.
yes,
I see.
yeah."
But didn't you do a bit for Keith Kerrison?
Oh, I worked for long enough for him.
Yeah, I
I've done
thought you
ditches and goodness knows what there. But for Hood,
Yes.
he used to, when we'd take done this, that, and we did everything. He used to say, well, you women, you can have a day's stone picking. And we picked stones all day, put them in baskets, took them to the side, and then the key came up with the carts. And now that wasn't an easy job. And then, of course, I did a lot of thrashing.
Did you?
Oh, I did a lot of that.
What did you used to do when they were thrashing?
Everything. Everything bar, I could work anywhere but on the drum.
On the drum. And
Yeah.
you didn't carry corn?
No, I wheeled it, tied it up and wheeled it.
tied it up and wheeled it.
Baled, I
you?
did the baling and made these great stacks.
Did you?
You know, I could, yes, I could.
Yes.
Honestly, I could
Yeah.
work. But I wouldn't go in the chapel.
No.
Poor old Mrs. Tinker used to go
Did
in
you
it.
really?
She did.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
she did. She used to go
Yeah.
there.
Good Lord. Yeah.
So, and then after they finished thrashing, Mr. Bill Hackney,
Oh, I
from
can't-
Stainfield,
oh, I can't
he used to,
remember, yeah.
no, well, he had his set.
The engines.
The engines and
Yes.
whatnot.
Yeah.
And he used to come in and say, do you want a day's work? I'd say, oh yes, what are we doing? He says, we're bailing, and I
Yeah.
used to go bailing with
Yeah.
him.
Did you?
Yeah.
How did you get there in the
Well,
morning?
he used to come and pick me
Oh, he
up
used to come and pick you
and
up?
bring me back.
Yes.
But now the worst one I ever worked for was Lusby.
Really? Yeah.
He had a farm at Barling, somewhere
That's
out
right,
there.
yes.
And I've known us go when the stars were still out, and I've come home and the stars is out, you know,
At
and
night?
the moon,
Yeah. Really?
to finish a stack.
Was this the Lusby who lived in the village?
It was his son.
Well, his son.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't, Malcolm could
Oh,
probably
I
remember
can
his
remember.
name.
I remember it. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. But he
Roy,
used to-
Ron? No.
No, that wasn't
No.
there. Can't remember.
Hmm.
Anyway, Mr. Hackney used to say, now then, make sure that he's going to pay you the same as he's paying the men. He says, you're doing a man's work, and you can work beside any of the men, because there are a lot of old men in there usually go thrashing. thrashing. But he used to
Did he
say
used
that.
to pay you the same as the men?
He didn't, till I put my foot down. He said, 16 shillings for you, Mrs. Webster. I says, £1. He says, why? I says, I worked at the side of these men. I says, and I've been on the stack all day,
Yeah.
you know, and when you stand on a canch
Yeah.
for the last few,
Yeah.
and you've got to throw up,
That's right.
it's not easy.
Yeah. And it was £1 a day. That was
Yeah,
what,
I got £1 a
that
day
was-
then, like the men.
yeah. But that was the wage at the time.
At the time,
For thrashing.
for
£1 a day.
Yes, £1 a day. But if you didn't speak up, and there was another one, I'll tell you, you have to pick dates for Willerton? Willerton?
That's right.
Funny bloke.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sudbrook Lane.
that's right. Well, me and Mrs. Kate was picking dates for him one day, and she says, how much are we getting, Webster? I says, well, I think £1, I think, same as everybody else. Why? Well, I says, well, better ask. I says, what are you paying, Mr. Willerton? He says, 15 shillings a day. I says, not for us, you not. I says, it's £1. He says, I'm not paying £1. Oh, well, I said, I'm not picking them all. He says, they're only paying 15 shillings at Boston. I says, this is Nettleham.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, this is Nettleham. No, I says, no, not working anymore.
He paid you £1.
We got it.
Yeah.
But they always used to say, well, speak up for us, speak up for us, you know. But no, I enjoyed being on the land.
Yes.
But I worked a long time for Keith Garrison.
Yeah, I know you
Yeah, I
did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to come and he used to say, Mrs., come and muck us out, will you?
Yes.
I said, what do you want doing? It's a set to and start at the top and paper right through. Well, you know, I've been there, and I says to Madge one day, I says, hey, do you know how many rolls of paper I put on this week? She says, no. I says, 28. But one thing about Keith Garrison, he paid well.
Yes. Yeah.
He says, if you pay well, they'll
Yeah.
come again.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can always get work as if you pay.
It was strange how we lost the two brothers so
Yes,
quickly,
yes,
wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. It was tuberculosis, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
And his heart, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
But
Oh, they didn't.
Herbert was much the same,
Well,
wasn't
it
it?
was.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the
But
two
there was
wives are
Bess,
still
there was
there.
Bess, she
Oh,
died.
and Bess as well, that's right.
Yes,
Yeah.
there was Bess, wait a minute.
They all died fairly
They
young.
did, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did, no, it was sad.
But the sister who lived at Rysholme, she lasted much longer, didn't she?
That was Vi.
Vi.
Yes,
that's right.
great big
Big, heavily
woman,
built woman.
built like a horse.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, big,
Yeah.
strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
She lasted a long time.
Yeah,
She did. There's still 1 or 2 left, isn't there?
there is. Yeah.
But there we are.
No, what have you been interested in the way of hobbies, or
Me?
yeah? You wouldn't have much time for hobbies.
Never had a time. I was
No.
working.
But didn't you used to go singing or something at one time?
Well, I was in the choir all those
I
years.
thought this is.
And
yes.
look, I was 30 years and cleaned all those candelabras, didn't
Did
I?
you really?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was only me who could do them. Do you know why?
No.
Well, for one thing, I could climb, and you had to climb
Really?
up.
Yeah.
And there's 18 candelabras, there's 18 branches.
Yes.
Now then, there isn't many now. The brass pins what you put in, they've all got a number on.
Oh,
But they're
really?
in Roman numerals.
Yes.
And unless you know which number goes into the hole, you've had it.
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
And so I always used to do them candelabras for Easter, harvest,
Yes.
and Christmas,
Yeah.
and the sanctuary lamp.
How long were you in the choir?
I only retired 3 years ago.
Did you?
Yeah,
What,
And I've
30
been-
years?
the 30 years. Oh, as long as it's been a choir.
Well, there you are. That's, you
Yes,
know,
right from the choir start.
Really?
Yeah, starting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do any concerts outside the church? Was it?
Well, no, but if there was a special wedding anywhere and
Yes.
they wanted a choir,
That's
then
what I was
they would
getting at.
come to Nettleham to ask if we would go and
That's
sing.
what I was
Oh,
thinking about.
Yes.
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 And you went to the people's houses or other
No,
churches?
the churches.
Other
Yes,
churches.
that's
yes.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I did belong the where does the choir? What was it? Not the
Reefham.
Nettleham and Reefham Choral Society.
Oh well, wherever it was, we
Yeah.
used to practice out somewhere down the village there. But we used to go to other towns and
See.
compete in
Yeah.
these.
I think Malcolm's got it right. The Netherland
That's right.
Choral
Yes,
Society.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was Madge?
Oh, she. Well, you see,
Remember-
she was bred and born here. You see.
Yes, but was she a member of the choir?
Of course she was.
At the
She
same
was there
time,
as a
was she?
little girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long before my time, because you see, I'm 10 years older than she is. You
You're
see.
10 years older.
Yeah. Well, she's 71 and I'm
Yes.
81
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
But,
Well, we're going to catch her up. We tried to get her to come this morning, but
I know.
we should catch her.
I know. She told me.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I know she's had a word with
Yeah.
you.
No, I can remember being once shut up in the church, you know. I used to go at night in the summertime to when I was cleaning
Mm.
the brasses. Sat there quietly, you know, suited me fine. Take all my stuff and sit on the altar steps and whatnot and wherever. All of a sudden I heard somebody open the church door.
Mm.
I thought, who's this coming? Anyway, I stood and whoever it, I never even moved. Next thing, slam bang, and the key turned. They'd locked me in, it was the vicar.
Was it?
Old Cotton Smith.
Cotton Smith.
Well, I ran like the dickens. I said, you locked me in, you know. Well, he said, you'd only got to pull the rope.
Yeah. That's right.
I never thought about that.
Yeah. In those days, you used to ring the bells from the church floor.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rung bells at
Yeah.
Nettleham from the church
Yes.
floor.
I'll tell you what they did one year, and I brought it up once at the church fellowship. What happened to the handbells?
Mm. There used to be handbells
I
at
know,
Nettleham,
and
yeah.
I've known them ring them at
Yes.
Christmas under the belfry
Under
there.
the belfry, that's
And
right.
so I said, I can't understand it. Where have they gone?
Hmm.
I don't know.
And haven't they been found?
Well, wherever they are, I don't know.
Really?
No. I couldn't tell you.
I'll have
I
a
wish I
word with
knew.
Reverend Burton and see if he knows anything
Yeah,
about
well,
it.
I did bring it up at the church fellowship because they had a...
But I can remember them being rung at Nettleham.
Yes.
Because when I was a young lad, we used to go round the villages ringing bells from
Yes.
Welton.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and we came to Nettleham. That's how I knew the bells were rung out of the church floor,
Oh,
on the
well, they
floor
did.
of the
Yeah.
church.
But I know that a set of handbells because I can remember them ringing.
Because they were
Ringing at
frightening,
Christmas.
those ropes, when they
Yeah.
went all the way
All
up
the
to
way
the
up.
church roof. And if
Yeah.
you got your neck wrapped around one of
Then you
those,
would
you
know.
didn't stand much chance.
The handbells were originally used to teach the ringers the changes
That's
on the
right.
church
Yes.
bells, but in
Yeah.
later times they got the choir to use them to do hymns and
Yes.
songs
Yeah.
in the church
But you don't know
services.
where they are.
I don't. I've used them, but I don't know where they
No,
are
well,
now.
I have no idea where they went.
Mm.
No idea at all. I wish I did know. I'd just like to know. There were so many things, you see, after the fire that's never come to light again. And I should like to know where they all are.
Yeah,
Because there was Miss Rebel, she gave several things to the church.
did you?
She did. You know, and I
And they
thought, well, where have they all
disappeared.
gone?
What sort of things?
Well, there was two beautiful... Well, you see those little plaques on the road, on the wall
Yeah.
there? There was from a ruined house in Belgium during the First World War. See what I mean? And
Yeah.
there was the only things left standing on this wall. Anyway, there was big round ones.
Were there?
You,
That Miss
Yeah.
Revel gave?
yeah, well no, somebody did.
Yes.
Somebody gave. A lot of things was given. And there was hung on the church pillars,
Hmm.
one on either side. Never seen them anymore.
Really?
And the sanctuary lamp, I don't know where it went.
Very strange.
Where, you know, after that's when I finished cleaning presses.
yes.
Because they took the candles, the candelabras away to be cleaned and they varnished them and never, you
That's
see.
right.
And so
Yeah.
that did away with cleaning.
Stop the cleaning.
But at the same time, I look at them many a time and I think, oh Lord, the times I cleaned those candelabras. And I think
Yeah.
I should like to, you know, see them again.
There were a great many things put in boxes immediately after the fire that went missing when people cleared up.
I know, that's just what I'm saying. I don't know where they went,
Malcolm obviously knows a little bit about it.
evidently.
Well,
he
I
should
was
do.
church warden at the time, yes.
Yes, but where they went to, I don't know.
No.
I looked round at the choir because it's diminished a lot to what it used to be when we were in it. You know, there was so many. There was Frank Bean and there was Hiscock. The Dickens are. And all those people have all
Yeah.
either died and
Yeah.
well, they have died and
Yeah.
a lot of them
Mm.
have all gone. And then you see I retired, Madge retired, she's old nurse,
Yes.
Mrs. Boyer, and there
Yes.
was there was, yeah. You see, I sang alto anyway, and you
Yeah.
can't get altos for love and the money. You know, they all sing soprano, and
Yeah.
I can't sing stuck up
Yeah.
there. But I used to be, you know, contralto.
Yeah.
And
I knew
never-
you'd had an interest in singing
Yes.
for a long time.
Yeah, and the drama group, I belonged in.
Oh, you did,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah,
Mrs. Ayers
belonged in.
group.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I belonged in.
And that's finished now, more or less. Hasn't
Well, it is. Well, she retired
She
at
retired.
her age, you
That's
see.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because yes, they.
It had-
I think they carried on for a bit.
They did, but it stopped
Yes,
now, I
it
think.
stopped now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Then when my legs was bad and I couldn't move about much, well, I said that's no good. I'll retire.
Yeah.
So I was curtain lady, you know.
Because
Yeah.
you were one of the first people to have a hip replacement done, weren't
No,
you?
not hips.
Oh, knees. Knees.
Yeah.
Knees.
Yes.
One of the first.
Well,
You went to
he
Nocton.
said yes, but when Commander Murphy did it, and he said, I've never done this operation before. He says, this is something I knew. And he says, I can't cure arthritis, but I can straighten those silly legs of yours. You know, because one prop goes up. And they put, there's nuts and bolts and plates and screws in both legs.
Have you?
both of them.
But it made a big difference to you, didn't
I
it?
walked.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was about, he's the only one that I could thought to myself that somebody had going to do something for.
Yes.
I'd even been to a faith healer at Bar.
Yes. Had you really?
I did,
Mm.
and I'll tell you who was there at that particular time. Foe, the builder.
Was he really?
Yes.
Yes. Foe the builder.
That's right.
Yeah.
He was there.
Was he?
And you know, stood behind you to catch you if you fainted. Dr. Wallace.
Really?
Yes.
At the faith healer?
Yes.
Good Lord.
And that was at Bartley.
Yeah.
Because I said to Seth, I said, what on earth, what's Dr. Wallace doing there? He says, oh, well, a lot of people faint. I said, well, I'm not going to faint. I knew I should. I knew I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But he stood behind the chairs because some...
Really?
Now, I don't know whether it was through emotion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm.
Anyway, he said to me when he laid his hand on it, he said, now put your stick down and walk back to your place. Which of course I did. And I didn't use a stick for 5 months.
Didn't you?
No.
Mm.
But then then I had to resort back to it again.
Yeah. But you go very well.
I don't do so bad for my
No.
age anyway, do
No,
I?
you go
Not
very well.
really. No, I don't.
Yeah.
So there we are.
I'm absolutely amazed that you haven't a television set.
I have in there.
Oh, you've got one in your own other room?
In the living room,
ah,
yeah.
I see.
We see, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Ah.
yeah. Because when you come to look, you see this house is Georgian. These are the original doors.
Are they?
Yes. This was done. Now kitchen doors, look like a cow stable door. You want to look at it?
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And this is why I never had these cupboards taken out anyway.
Yeah.
Because they're so useful.
Well, but this is standard fitment, cupboards each side of the
That's right.
fireplace
Yes. Yeah.
for houses built about the time
That
this
time.
was built.
1830.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was 1830.
Well, the same with the little cottages that I lived in, Chapel Lane.
That's right.
They're all built in this similar way.
Yes.
Yes.
That's, why do you have them taken out? I said, I
No,
want them
no,
taken out.
no,
I said, my goodness,
that's right.
no. But of course we did a lot of alterations, but we kept the original doors.
Yes.
Mind you, you can nearly crawl through the bottom of the top, you know what they're like, you know. But and the back door, it is unique. I said to John, let's have a new door. Leave it. It's
Yeah.
a feature,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
of course it is.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember it now. It's a stable, what I call a
The
stable
stable door.
Yes.
Yeah, it is,
That's
with a
right.
bar across.
Yes.
You know, you can't, so nobody could get in.
No.
Because of the bar, there's this iron bar. But we had a lot done, you know, we filled, there was 2 steps at entrance, that wasn't an entrance, that was a big pantry thing.
Mm.
You went down some steps to it, well we filled it in, you
Yes.
see. The same with the bathroom, that was a big pantry and you went down steps.
Yes.
But when the beck was high,
It used
which
to
it
flood
used
back.
to be,
Yes.
all the water used
That's
to come
right.
up, ours and Gretton's,
Yes.
because Gretton's lived,
Yes. They did.
yeah.
1947 you would be flooded.
That's right.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
when the high street was covered with water.
Well, when we lived across there,
Yeah.
that was a shocker.
It was. That's
It really
right. There's
was.
a big well underneath it, as you know.
Well, there's one outside the back door
There
there.
is. That's right.
Because the barrow went through it one day. It was beautiful, that well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the pump was up. We had to share the pump with Bomberwell, old
Yes.
Bomber, you know.
Yes.
499.
499. What was that?
Well, when he was at chapel, he used to say, now we'll have a hymn what the little old bands can sing. We'll have 499, and you find your pamphlets under your seat. See? I always think of that.
Mm.
Yeah. He was good, poor old Bomber. And during the war, you know, we used to, George had even built a air raid shelter, you know.
Had he?
Oh, at top of the garden.
Yeah.
When he was at work, because he was in the Home Guard, you see,
Yes.
at work, and he used to say, Mrs, the air raid's, the siren's gone, bring that bairn down and come to our house. As if I'm going to be bombed, I'll be bombed in my own. You know? And when George used to come home, did you hear the siren? No. Well, I don't know. Didn't you hear it? No, I never heard it.
No.
But no, during the war we used to count the planes going.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
hear him coming limping home in the
Yeah,
morning, you
yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there was those two ankles, Dorniers.
Yes.
What the fetch down? We stood here, watched them things go.
Did you?
They chopping.
Where did they crash?
Well, Barney way, didn't they?
They
Wasn't
finished
it,
at Barney. Yeah. Yeah,
Followed the
I
river,
remember.
didn't they?
But, well, I wasn't here, but
Oh,
I
you
remember
wouldn't do?
people talking about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
No.
Because the nearest bombs that got to Nettleham were those two in Lodge Lane, weren't they?
Oh, I have got a piece of it.
Have you really?
Aye, near.
Yeah.
One of the. There's ever. Yes.
Yeah.
It
Was they
was
just-
an oil bomb.
Was it?
Hmm.
They disturbed the church tower.
That's right.
Yeah.
And isn't there some? Didn't they catch the? Wait a minute. Corner of the plough. Isn't there some bullet holes or something up there? I must have a
I've
look.
never heard of that.
Oh, I must
No.
know. I don't know. I must have a
Hmm.
look. Anyway, what else? Anything else? I'll tell you what I've got here. I don't know
Yes.
whether you're interested. That was the pig story, the pig killing story. You've read it?
No.
Well, I've given these here little talks all over, but John always says, if you'd only write all this down for your grandchildren, do you see?
Yeah.
And my life story, my childhood, school days,
Yes.
they're all in separate things, which I've had them Xerox and sent to him.
Have you really?
Yes. Now their children, when they were small, because they're grown up now, have took them to their schools in
Yes.
San Francisco
Yeah.
and read them there.
Yeah.
And so this is what I've done. And I've taught here at Chapel, Forget-Me-Not Club,
Yeah.
Reetham,
Yes.
all these bits.
Have you really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
for them. And
Well,
You
if
know-
when you tell John that you've had this video done,
yeah, I've told him.
well,
I
tell him he can have a copy if he
He'll pay for it, yes.
Yes, if he'd
That's
like to
fair
buy
enough.
the tape.
And you know when George
Unfortunately,
made...
if I can just interject
Yes.
there, unfortunately that will not work. You have to have it converted to American
Oh, but
standards.
he can get it done.
Oh.
It can be done in this country and converted to American
well,
standards.
You can do
Yeah.
it here.
Yeah.
Now, you know when George made toys?
I remember that.
Well, if you look up here,
Anything you wanted covered it?
Thought I might ask about the home garden Nettleham.
Might be worth doing, yeah.
no, it was a... Well, when he was in the Home Guard, that was at the forge.
Yes.
But here, he was a fire watcher.
He was never in the home guard at Nettleham?
No,
Oh,
no, because he was in the Home Guard for the forge,
yes.
you see.
Can you remember anybody who's still alive who was in the home guard at Nettleham?
I can't.
With Jack Ranshaw, he belonged a little bit.
Did he?
Paul
Yeah.
Cotton.
Paul Cotton was
Oh,
a
of
member,
course.
of course.
Oh, well, there, it's
Yes.
these 3 years since he died.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mrs. Cotton might tell us.
Mrs. Cotton.
She might know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she might know. But no, George was a fire watcher.
He was a fire watcher.
Yeah, and do you
Yeah.
know who he used to be with?
No.
Well, I'll tell you. Old Mr. Hill.
Did he
Taylor
really?
Hill.
Taylor Hill.
Yes.
Yes. Did he?
And you could always get they always made a cup of cocoa and chocolate biscuits, and where they got the chocolate biscuits from, I don't know. That's beside the point. isn't
From the
it?
larder's shop?
Yes.
Yes.
Seemed to me.
Yeah.
George said, well, I don't mind, because I get a cup of cocoa and chocolate biscuits.
The Hill he's talking about was Miss Hill's father.
Farmer.
And
That's
she worked
true.
at the shop. That's where the
Yes.
biscuits would come
Come from, you
Yeah.
see.
Can you tell us about that book? Because I stopped you.
Oh dear. Well, this book, George was very methodical, you know, when
Yes.
it came, you know, his writing, because he couldn't spell, he used to, you know, he said, how do you spell something? Never mind, didn't matter. And he used to make all these, and if you go through
This
it,
was a list of toys that he
that
made.
he used to make, and all the people,
And the
and how much
prices.
they were,
Yes.
you see,
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
look here,
Yeah. He made a feel by the look of that.
jolly well did.
Yeah.
Did, but
Yeah.
then there was that cheap. But you know, I tell you what he used. You couldn't get timber. you was only allowed £1 worth of timber a month.
Were you?
Yes.
Mm.
It was like, it was rationed.
Yes.
And so we used to go to the auctions and buy clothes boxes.
Yes.
You know how countrymen
Yes.
used to have a clothes box,
Yes.
didn't they? Yeah. Well, he used to buy those and make them into toys.
Did he really?
Yeah.
To get the wood,
To get the wood.
flat pieces of wood
Yes.
out of it?
Yeah. To get
Yeah.
the good bits of wood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
I tell you who used to always have them. Can you remember old Towers?
Oh, I can.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, he used to get no end from him.
Did he really?
Yes, he
I wonder
did.
where he got them from.
I don't know,
Really?
but he got
Yeah.
them there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Old Towers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Would you believe it?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I think you've done exceptionally well. Thank you very much for talking to us so
Oh
well
my
for so long.
gosh, please. And what else? In fact, I put a lot down, about 8 pages yesterday. I thought, oh, what if I can remember? You know, the
Yes.
Mabel Vickers that used to lay people out.
Yes, she did. I
Didn't
remember
she?
Mabel
Yes.
doing it.
Yeah. Anyway, there was a lot there that I'd put down. That, I don't know, I think you've seen that for your paper, haven't you?
No, I haven't seen that.
I
What's
bet you
that?
have.
There's a lot of good material here, Jack, for the Nettleham News.
There is, isn't there?
Well, you can take any of them.
I can see Madge on the front row.
Yes, we're now next to her.
Oh, it is you.
Yes, 1967.
67. Hmm.
That was when Phil Newlove?
Yes.
Newlove was sheriff, wasn't he?
He was Sheriff
Yes.
of Lincoln, yes.
That's right. Well, that
There's
was
Mrs.
that.
Renshaw on here as well.
And there's
you
your
see.
wife's on it. Somewhere.
Is there? Did you know?
No.
Oh.
Well, she is. I can pick. There's no end that's died. Oh, Molly Porter.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no end there.
Yes.
Where was this taken?
In the Guildhall.
In the Guildhall at Lincoln.
Yeah.
You got it?
No, I write all these bits, these stories, and take them down to the library and have them Xeroxed.
Yeah.
Then John's got a copy of
Yes.
them, you see.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
He
He will value them and his children
he
will.
says, well, he says, you can talk.
Yes, well that's why I was thinking he would value this, you see.
Yeah, no, he says, I've never heard anybody talk, you know, so, but no, there's so many things that you remember,
Oh,
isn't
yes.
there?
Yes,
You know, where Green Lane,
that's
now
right.
take that. We used to go, let's face it, I mean, we'd no money, and us mothers with the prams, we used to go sticking, didn't
Yeah,
we?
that's
We used
right.
to go picnicking with a bottle of water,
And Brambling.
rambling, all up the Green Lane
Yes.
or up Rysam, you know.
Yes.
I thought,
Yeah.
well, when I look back, I thought, weren't much money, you know, but
No, you were happy enough with it.
we were happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were. And when, that was another thing, when George used to be fire watching, when old Mr. Hill couldn't
Yes.
go, do you know George used to have to go with? Bill Green on the
On the backside.
backside.
Yes.
And he'll say, wait till I put the light on, George. And George says, you have to wait till he put the light on. And he says, there was such a scurry. And he says, there was black beetles all over, because everybody had black beetles then,
Yes,
didn't
that's
they?
right. Yeah.
They did.
There were an awful lot about.
And he check your boots, and you have to check the blooming, check them out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mrs. Green
yes.
still buys a copy of the Nettleham News. I send it to her
To-
every one that's published.
Do you really?
Yes. She
Well,
lives
see,
in
that's
Lincoln.
what yes, she does in,
Yeah.
she's still there.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice woman. She
Yes.
was a clever woman.
she was.
She was
Yeah.
a very clever woman.
Yeah.
Yes. She was a nice person.
Yeah.
I keep in touch with her.
Do you?
Yeah.
Hmm.
She, you know, I ring her, you know, phone her and
Yeah.
whatnot. Yes, no, she's good.
Hmm.
No, this is no mansion, but there are that many bits that come, you know, with John sends, and
Yes.
they're really, I can't put them away.
No.
You know, these are most unusual. They're Mexican
Right.
paintings the peasants do them,
Mm.
but they're not painted on paper.
Oh.
They're painted on bark.
Are they really?
It's on tree bark
Yeah.
and ever so thin.
Hmm.
Unusual, aren't they?
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh no, there's little bits and pieces.
Right.
I picked these up and stones. These pebbles off the pebbled beach. John says, you can put those down, Mum. I said, why? He says, if everybody took a handful of those.
Yes.
I'm not sure, well, I'm having these.
What are those things in the middle on the walls?
Now then, that's from Marla, which is the west coast of Africa, isn't it? The west.
Mali.
Mali, is it? And it's a musical instrument. And you shape them.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, that's what that is. And the villagers from one village to another used to go
Yes.
in the night to listen and to get the sounds, you see. And then go back to their own village and copy them. Have you found your wife?
I've seen a lot of people out here, I know.
Eh?
I know a lot of these.
I was thinking you would
Oh,
do.
yeah.
I thought you would.
Here's my wife.
Yeah, that's right.
Mrs. Kilbride.
Look at Gabriel, isn't she lovely?
She is.
She was an elegant woman.
Yes.
She really was.
Hmm.
Wasn't she?
I thought about Gabriel for a minute.
Yes. Yes.
George used to say, oh, when I see Gabriel walk, I said, for goodness sake, you know, he used to think she walked beautifully. She did.
Yeah.
And she really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But no, if there's anything in it, there's a cricket Saunders fish shop,
Saunders fish shop. Yeah.
the institute where
Yeah.
you'd a billiard table,
Yeah.
you'd everything, hadn't you there? The library was there.
That's right. And the
There was
rifle
Brackley's
shooting.
ice cream, wasn't
Yes,
there? Where
yeah.
he made ice cream
That's
in the
right.
back.
Yeah.
And there's just something,
Well, he made that until a few years ago, really, didn't he?
I don't know, did he?
Oh, he did. Yeah.
He round at the skip this morning with his little barrow.
Was he?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Was he? Oh, that you'd a good cricket team because George played cricket
Yeah,
up on the
Rhizome.
top. Oh yes.
Yes.
Well,
They
on
played for
Grange
2 or 3
Dillings
years
Road
up
there,
there.
didn't they?
Hmm?
Grange Dillings Road, wasn't it?
No, they played cricket at Rhizome as such.
Oh, was
they
it
played
Rhizome?
football at the Grange Dillings Road.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm.
There was larders, grocers, haberdashery, there was a post office, the butchers.
Well, Elsie covered that a lot for us.
Yes,
you
she
see.
would. I
Yeah.
guess she would.
Yeah.
But Scarborough's the butchers.
That's right.
You see, he had you could take a peek there and be
That's
killed.
right.
Be
Yes.
killed, couldn't you?
That's
But
right.
we used to kill ours up our yard.
Did you?
Yeah,
Mm.
there was I can see it now. It isn't there now. There was a beautiful post
Mm.
with a hook on.
Mm.
We used to kill the pigs there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Some good material.
Yes, it sounds a bit.
Well, if you want,
I'll have a
want to
read
take
through
it,
it.
you can
Yes.
read it. Anything you want,
Yeah.
take. But down for the threshing, yeah.
That's what I put in the net.
You know, I was looked at it from that point of view. It's
Yes.
a bit.
Bit
whether
big.
we shall get a reproduction of it. We could cut out the lights in the room.
In the top, the could, couldn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. But oh dear.
Yeah. Well, that's very nice, Mrs. Webster.
Well,
It's taken
no.
us a long time. I hope
I'm
we
sure
haven't
it's a-
distressed you.
No. What we did during the war, because with no money, you pulled old wool things down,
Yes.
clipped stuff up for snipping rugs, didn't we?
Working for Red Cross.
Yes.
Working
Yes.
parties.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. There were so many things that we did. But I don't know. Sunday
Right,
school
well.
trips, and old Cotton Smith, he used to come with his blooming stick on a seaside bucket,
Yeah.
collecting for
Did
the trip.
he? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Egg and Flower Sunday, when you had a procession from the old schoolyard,
Yes.
with all the children, and you see that a Sunday school of well over 100.
Mm.
And of course, Mrs. Hill, Pat's mother,
Yes.
she was a Sunday school teacher,
Was she?
Mm.
and she was good.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
She was
No.
my Sunday school teacher.
She would be.
Mm.
Yeah.
She was John's. Yeah, and when John comes, he always likes to go to church, and just leave me. I just want to sit where I used to sit, you know, and just to sit
Yes.
where we went to
Yeah.
sit.
I tried to do that at Welton,
Yeah.
and they don't hold any services at Welton on a Sunday night.
Oh no, they don't.
No.
We're fortunate that
Yes.
they keep even song
Yes.
going here.
Yeah.
I don't know how they manage it, but they do somehow. Yeah,
They don't hold any at Welton at night.
don't they?
No.
No, we're fortunate that we can.
And that's what I wanted to do, was to go back and sit in the
Sit
same
in.
seat.
Exactly, I know
Yeah.
what you mean.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And I go to chapel to the finished.
Just wind it up and just say thank you.
Yes. All right, Mrs. Webster, thank you very much for talking to us for so long.
Well, I've talked.
Well, this is the... we don't want to talk, it's you that does the talking. And you've
Well,
done,
if you
you've
fire
done
the questions,
extremely
I
well.
could probably answer.
No, you've done extremely well.
Well, thank you very much.
And
But I mean, if you'd really like to look through these things,
I
you
will
can.
do. Yes. Thank you very much.
Rotten spelling and whatnot, but I mean, at least I know
No,
what it
That's
is.
all right, that's fine.
Right.
Did you find have enough money? Was it, you know, all
Yes.
sorts of things?
Yeah.
Well, I've started.
You've got some of the answers in.
There's so many to put in. He's a very good son.
Yes.
Thank goodness. Now, if you'd like to take that and show your wife.
I'll sit
Write
down with
me a
Joyce
list.
and write the names. And those that she doesn't know, I'll come and
Come
see
with,
you when
that's
you fill
fine.
me in. Now let me take it, yeah.
Well,
no.
I must tell you. You see this.
We're on to...
Do you know? Frank Clark.
Yes.
It was his first gift to his parents when he got a job.
Really?
Yeah.
Good
And I
Lord.
finished up with it.
Yes.
There's an iron bar at the side, and you put it across, and there's a. If you can see that. Look, now right across. That's right. Now you can't get in there, and I've still got the original lock, which is on the mantelpiece in the room there. You've seen it?
that. I saw
Well,
that.
that's where it belongs.
Yes. But I was going to say, a typical stable door. I can remember these when we had our own farm. These were the doors that you put on
Yes.
stables, and they were there. The theory of it is...
It's locked, look.
Ah,
See what I mean? Unlock it. That's it.
the real old-fashioned sneck,
It is, yeah.
and they are snecks, they're not fastenings, but the stable doors traditionally never had a lock on, of course. That's a household part of it.
Yeah.
But these were the bars. This is typical.